Yes, job people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, Hail the Lion
Now we
voice,
have to go
saying
back.
it is
Let's
time for
come
the
out for
lions
the
and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The time has come for lions to tell I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Ras Tafari chilling from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, Look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Hail I, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress men and blessed. Yeah man, hail him from St. Croix, Rastafari, hail you. Love, aye.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lance voice. Now put it, I jolly for say that.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. But people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. Well, Haile Selassie the first, the Almighty, and this is the Chas Match Kwasi. Well, the Almighty granted true love, and some guy a go on like say it need remix. And I treat true love like some junk food or some cheese tricks. Well, if the nation for rise, had them people that need fix. And this is the reason why Haile Selassie the first and Empress Menen exists. Hear this. Well, how about this? Some people want fix. Some people them not ready for relationships them not moral code them hold pan slackness. Be careful out the road you a hug and you a kiss and miss. How about this? Some people want fix. Some people them not ready for relationships them not moral code them hold pan slackness. Actors and actresses just watch them practice. When she see man and she think about her money, every weekend she a search for a dummy. Them your boy Joe grind, them a study. Even though the boy know things coulda get bloody. If him book up in a hobby find out. Now you in somebody house with a matic in a mouth. The things we do fi clout, what is it about? You fi seek true love, love it at the jungle road, yo. How about this? Some people want fix. Some people them not ready for relationships them not know moral code them hold pan slackness. Be careful out the road you a hug and you a kiss and me say. How about this? Some people want fix. Some people them not ready for relationships them not know moral code them hold pan slackness. Actors and actresses just watch them practice. Little boy suffer from child abuse. Now him turn big man fist him a use fi defend him views. When him argue, now him girlfriend eye black and one blue. Girlfriend cry, then him start cry too. That's when she realize him should have tell your Bellevue. Stayed him in the bedroom and her body bruise. Everybody want love, nobody wanna lose yo. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network and welcome to Lion Talk Live, where the lions and the lionesses are telling our own story. We are here as Rastafari, independent, non-aligned media. We are rising. Big up the Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. And we big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. These are the Lion Pride who are investing monthly to support the growth of Rastafari independent media. We have to give thanks because we just love how the thing grow, the word has spread, word, sound, and power. Each one teaching one. The calls are coming in, the comments are coming in. Big up. We get our first comment from Zambia. Brethren from Zambia say he's locked in to the Lion Voice Network, Rastafari family. So this thing, family, you block the word sound and it goes out there. But when you see the manifestation, yes, we have the confidence, but we give thanks. You know what I mean? When we see the manifestation through constant, steady work. And remember, over here we say consistency beats perfection every day. You know what I mean? Consistency, discipline. You know what I mean? These are the mantra right now in the Armageddon that we have to deal with. We have a very special guest today, family. Massive, massive. We're going big now. We start to bust the Arkelon long gun from over Switzerland and bring on some of the big guests then, because I told the family that I Superpower is the network. That means even if I don't know a one, I know a one that know a one. So if I want to say Rastafari, if I want to say Haile Selassie the first, they will be on this platform. I man know that. You know what I mean? So that means that there's no limitation to what we are bringing forward here. Before we do that, we're going to big up Ramia King Design, big up Ras Lidge, one of the sponsors of the channel, CMAS Life, Ras Woolley. This is not just when I come here every Thursday, this is a community that we're building here of Rastafari people who are no longer going to be passive, while we wait on third-party platforms to feed us what they think they should have about Rastafari. We know the glory, you know what I mean? We who have tried this know the mystic. We know the blessing. So we have to reflect that in our real life. And big up everyone who has been watching the series on the second generation, the children of Rastafari. We've been getting some good feed forward on that. And again, that's going to be an ongoing series. We're going to have a panel, Children of Rastafari. We're losing a lot of I youth to Babylon, trimming and them gone into the world after them grew up in a Rastafari settings, them come and Naya Bingi, these things. These things we have to reason of, and these are things that we are going to be addressing on this platform. So just be patient with I family. The manifestation and the glory, we're confident in the victory. All right. Also, before I even go there, so I almost forgot, I want big up Joshai, a second generation Rastafari youth. You know what I mean? I've been watching grow from afar and gave I man the greatest tribute today by becoming a member of the Lion Pride on Patreon. I had a reasoning with this brethren Iron, my good brethren Bingishan, and he explained, some of his frustrations with the Rastafari movement and the lack of development. And his brethren were married to another second generation Rastafari sister, so he have Rastafari both sides of the family, and he must share with I, So to see the brethren really coming forward now and supporting the platform, I feel like I won the lotto. So if you just see I man a smile during this, because as we said, the glory. Big up Marie Pierre, same way my sister out of Haiti and Brooklyn coming on board, $25 a month. This is the manifestation, I mean? The families, it starts to soak in, I mean? The concept starts soaking that we have to invest in ourselves, I mean? No one's coming to save us, family. No one is coming to save us, I mean? So if we don't do it, we're going to wait for the elders, or we're going to look to the elders. We're asking brethren and sisters who are over 70 to come establish things for I and I right now. Are we serious? No, I have to do it ourselves. So we give thanks when the family acknowledge the work and when they support the work. Because if we want to see the Rastafari independent media, and big up Honorable Priest Isaac and the Bridging had a great reasoning today. Look forward to some collaboration with the different Rastafari media platforms. Them, as we said, this thing is not small. This thing is just watch and see. All right, you know I'm long-winded, family, but we're joyful. Tonight, we welcome to the platform a brethren who has established himself as one of the pillars in Trinidad and Tobago reggae music scene. As a Rastafari, his message has been consistent over the years in terms of how he delivers his message. A pillar, also working with the youths, coming up, many collaborations, you know what I mean? Big artists at Trinidad, big up Ras production, who say, if you're talking to artists from Trinidad, there's no way you cannot link with the Honorable Prophet Benjamin at them Monday, you know, run the ground. So we're honored to be able to welcome, you know, a great battlefield angel, you know what I mean, who published the word to the four corners. This is such an honor to welcome the Honorable Prophet Benjamin. Welcome to the Lion Pride family.
Blessed love, my Lord and all Empress, Prince and all princesses, all loved ones, in Christ Jesus our Lord. Holy Marcus I, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Ras Tafari. Give thanks to the Lion voice. Give thanks for the opportunity to be here. Give thanks to life and the holy life giver that giveth life to all flesh. I could have something to contribute to such an honorable purpose. To hear the I reason on behalf of Rastafari, and knowing that the I have followers and the I have people paying attention is a real accomplishment in my heart to see that there are people that won't find us because the sheep know the shepherd voice. And we are creating such an opportunity for the sheep to hear the voice of Rastafari. So give thanks to Lion Voice and give thanks to the wonderful people of the earth, Rastafari.
Give thanks for the I continue to tell the I that we're honored by the I presence, taking the time, very busy schedule. You know, I've been taking a walk through this brethren lion log, and I tell the I them it's extensive, you know what I mean? Who is Honorable Prophet Benjamin? You know, take us to the beginning. Make we jump into the Lion Talk time machine. Take us to the birth. Where were you born? What was the journey to Rastafari?
Selassie, let the words of I and I mouth and the meditation of I and I heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, man, I was born in a place called Point Fortin, south side of Trinidad, to, you know, two beautiful parents, give thanks. You know, from a wonderful lineage, give thanks. I was fortunate to be allowed the use of oxygen through these two individuals to experience life. This time that I and I was given the privilege to be born. As any other individual or most other individuals, the path of Rastafari is supposed to be a journey. So you're not going to have it easy. Not supposed to be that way. If it's easy, it doesn't really value what you have. So it's always been a struggle. But I was fortunate to have a Rastaman as a father.
Okay.
So as a youth, I would go to gatherings amongst my father that he would have amongst his brethren at the time. Whilst they might have been 25 and 26 years of age, or 30 for that matter, I was just a child. But they were in the realms of acknowledging Rastafari and finding Rastafari quite out here in the West, in the Caribbean, where that knowledge is supposed to be prohibited, you know, but because of the spirit that dwelleth within, the elders and them found something that they were able to pass on to this generation. and I receive that perspective or that dose of Rastafari in my social upcoming as a child. You know, although I grew up single parent, meaning my mom and my dad had separated,
Okay.
which, you know, sometimes in life we might look at it, you know, no one wants the demolition of a family structure. But based on where we come from as a nation, a people, the things that we were taught and the things that we weren't taught, sometimes is organized for us to end up in some dilemmas.
Mm.
Neither of us is to blame. It's just that we didn't know better or we were fed the wrong food.
Mm.
So, based on whatever mommy and daddy ate at that time, it created a separation. But if I had grown up with my dad, I don't think I would have been the man that I'm supposed to be today. Because
Okay.
he might have tried to shape or direct or know what it is he would have liked in his idea of what is best for his son. And that is okay. But him not being there allowed me the privilege to navigate my way through the earth and find my place in life. And I would say that that journey,
Yeah, just take the time. A lion voice today. Just take the time, turn off your phone. A reason, a
yeah,
reason.
take it off here now. I now realize
Yeah,
it's still
man. Lion voice today.
yeah,
Network. We are going deep, family.
yeah,
Because I
man.
didn't know that I was a second generation Rastafari, so it just fit into this whole thing that we're examining right now on the channel is the life, you know, the impact of the parents and this thing. Because if we're gonna build a Rastafari nation, the building block is the family, and
Yeah,
you
man.
know the story is just so right on time. But continue, family.
Yes, Angel, give thanks. And you know, on that part, I would say that, you know, it's not the only influence that was in my life at the time, but because it was there, I had the opportunity to choose when the time was right. But
Okay.
there were other influences because you're single parenting, you know, there would be stepfathers involved, you know, and there would be society involved because all of these different components play a great part in the molding and shaping of an individual, you know. But through wanting to know who is God in my life, at that time I read it had some little Christian brochures that was going around at the time. I was just a little past 15, heading to 16 years of age. And in these Christian brochures, it had a depiction of heaven and hell.
Okay.
The end results, probably about 13 pages, used to be in the brochure, a little rectangular Christian document.
What
But
decade
as
are we talking about? What decade we are talking about?
I was about, well, let me say in the 1990, at the ending of 1999,
Okay. Okay. Give thanks.
you know, 95, 96, around
Okay.
them time, let me say Youth Campus 1997. All right, so let me say 95, 1995.
Okay. So this is when the Rastafari energy a bubble up globally too.
Well, this is when the desire to know more about whoever responsible for giving me life was ignited. I
Okay.
had not yet known is Rastafari,
Okay.
you know, but I found in my heart I knew that, you know, it frightened me when I read the book and I saw the pictures of the idea that they had at that time of what hell would be like. It wasn't a place that I would want to be. And I needed to find anywhere to not to go there. And at that time, the place that looked like redemption would have been to church. So
Yeah.
I left immediately and went to a bedroom of mine who I know was a little strong in the church. And I told him how I felt. And I started to go to church. And in starting to go to church, the bedrooms and them that was around me at the time, I told all of them about the way that I felt. And if we used to be at the age of 15, boys being boys, and was 17 of us being boys, at least 9 of them started to go to church. And it after a while spending time there with the willingness to want to learn what is right, with questions I recognize there are questions that are not being properly answered.
Okay.
And I'm kind of uncomfortable with the answers to certain questions. So it led me on a journey to start to search more. So I started to visit different churches. So I would go to the Open Bible and the Jehovah Witness, and I would go to different and listen everyone without casting a judgment. I just need to know the source of where your energy come from. What is your truth? And after searching and allowing everyone the chance of having access to my brain, I end up in a state of confusion within myself. And it led me at the age of 17, half past 17 minutes to 18 in my life. It led me to a place where I was sitting outside my mother's, where we grew up, at a fig tree, a banana tree. And I started to cry.
Okay.
Because it was very meaningful to me to know exactly who it is I'm supposed to be praising. And when I listen to everyone's story, I say, Father, I can't take this. Whoever you is, I would like to know who you is, because I don't want to call a name and it's not your name. I don't want to defend a truth that is not your truth. Help me to know who you is. I want to know who you is so that I could give you what I have inside for whoever the creator is. And I was in tears at the time. The Almighty hear my voice. Now if I lie, strike me down and kill me. I was in tears. And I left something say, go inside and open the Bible. And I went inside and I just cut the Bible. I didn't know where it would have dropped, where it would have landed, where it would have ended up. And it would drop on Revelation chapter 5. And in Revelation chapter 5, it read that there was one sitting upon the throne crying with a loud voice, saying, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof and to look therein? And no one was found worthy, not in the heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or in the waters under the earth, that was found worthy to open the book, neither to loose the seals, neither to look therein. And John started to cry. John is the person who was having the vision, who wrote the book of Revelation. And he started to cry in the vision because no one was found worthy to open the book, neither to loose the seals therein. And one of the elders that sat around the throne, which is 24 elders, one of the elders said unto him, weep not, behold, or look over there. You would see the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, had prevailed to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. And he beheld, which is, he looked, and he saw a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. When I read that, I stopped. I said, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, Selassie. I read it over again for a second time, and I say, Father, what you're telling me here? Selassie. I read it over again. And the joy that I felt inside, I said, Ras Tafari, with all confidence for the first time in my life, because I was able to hold on to a truth that I acknowledge within. That is called a conviction. And when you're sure, you know. This is not an influence. This is recognition of a truth, which everyone have the opportunity to. But most likely, we might be a part of an influence, or we haven't arrived at a truth based on self-searching. A lot of us just live a truth that was handed down from generation to generation. That mightn't always be the truth unless you're sure it's the truth. Because even we as Rasta would like to give, as the Father say, tell your children, and tell your children to tell their children, and to tell their children after them. The problem is, if what we're telling our children is not the truth, woe be unto the shepherd that lead the sheep astray. So the truth is very important. A lot of us might have a good intent, but we might not be aware what we're feeding to our children is poison. So the truth is very important to find. That was very important. Life from Rastafari. I hope I'm not being too lengthy.
No. And what I hear is the generation of them that shall seek him. You know what I mean? Because you are seeking the face of the Almighty, and then it led you to this revelation. And it's very powerful to hear that testimony. And that's one of the things that I always ask every guest the same question from their Rastafari, because everyone have that moment, even if you, as your father was Rastafari, but this is not a thing where you can just, every man have to have that walk. You know what I mean? It's an inborn concept. So your father could be this, but if you don't have that revelation for yourself, it not go really manifest. So I always love to get that light bulb moment, you know, and that was a powerful statement that I just made. So in terms of your age at that time, did I start putting on locks immediately, or what was the journey from that moment?
No, well, it was a journey. After I went to church seeking God at that time, I could remember that my hair was about this length in some plaits at the time. And when I reached in the church, the pastor started to preach and say that it's a shame for a man to wear long hair. You know, the book of Corinthians chapter 11. And they was telling me that I would have to cut my hair, which was this length and in plaits. But my willingness to be obedient to truth, I gave up my hair and I cut my hair.
Okay.
And then the Sunday I came to church, and in front of me sitting down was a brother from a village next door by the name of Harry. Now my kneecaps in the church was wet, and I didn't come in with my kneecaps wet. But I recognized that Harry have a jerry curl, the TCB, whatever, dripping, because the church hot, it didn't have air conditioning in those days. And his jerry curl was about this length. And it was okay to have a jerry curl. And this highlighted, so wait, my natural hair at this length is an issue, but a jerry curl at this length is okay. These things started to make me look at something wrong. It has some question. I need to know more about things, you know, and that sent me in search of, I went through the baptism period, and then I went to a place called Shagaramas Youth Camp.
Okay.
And they are connected with other brothers from all different parts of the country, and we started our energy, we started our love, and that love just trickled together this way. Every night we would have a gathering on the basketball court in the camp, speaking positivity, and it wasn't guided by the directors of the establishment.
Okay.
It was our energy of some youths who decide to think positive and do something positive. But I want to say that at that time, I think that the energy of the music at the time was a great influence on the mind, because reggae music is king's music. And we are the children, the sons and daughters of kings who have been scattered throughout the world. So when reggae music go through the energy of the world, the sheep should know the shepherd voice. And we gravitate to that music, and we start to learn Rastafari, and it started to encourage our one to grow the dread and, you know, walk Rastafari way, because at that time, Rastafari was like the trending thing. It's not that today, but Rasta not dead. It's just that, you know, as time and generation passes, it have different things that, you know, just get a space to represent.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, because we're going to get into the state of Rastafari in Trinidad, state of ganja, state of reggae, because I always hear that the only time that reggae is not played is during carnival season in Trinidad, that, you know, Trinidad is a reggae country. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Trinidad, the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, the cultural music is a music called Kaiso or Calypso, which has transcended into something called Soca music.
Yes.
And that is the music that the island have that, you know, sense of appreciation for. However, there are different talents that exist in the country, but the cultural music of the country is soca music.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clarity. I have to represent the thing properly, because I know that there is an ambassador of Trinidad culturally too, you know, in terms of
the works and thing. So did I ever have a inclination to gravitate to calypso or soca?
Yes, I have. For years, it's over 10 years, I've been given soca industry every year. I provide one song in the soca arena, being
Okay,
patriotic to my island. So I'm
okay,
also known on the island for not just being a reggae artist, but there are times I had soca songs that I just enjoy my island with as well. I am an
okay,
Ethiopian by birth, but I was born on the island of Trinidad and Tobago.
okay.
So for that reason, I'm proud of the island because I could have born anywhere in the earth. I
True.
was allowed the privilege to be born on this island. I give thanks for life and I appreciate the island I was born on. I even appreciate all islands, but I really have a more internal love for Africa, which is my motherland, through understanding how we end up in the islands. It's okay to be here, but it's not okay to stay here. So I would like to return to my father's home and my mother's home one day, and I would encourage all other Africans that we have a home. We are not from here. It's okay to visit here, but we're supposed to be home.
Yeah, and own property. We want to update that because we are global people, and we are claiming CARICOM as part of the sixth region of Africa. But why would we give up a continent for an island? Yeah, we will own the islands, but we would never give up our birthright, which is the continent. So I
Actually,
really encourage I and I family to update the reasoning because we're not, we must have investments in the island because we grow there. We're not going to leave it to some other guy when our, ancestors' blood and sweat is there. So, but at the same time, there's an entire continent. So I want to know from the eye, your first impressions of Kadamawi Haile Selassie the First. You say you saw in the scripture, you know what I mean? The wheat, not the lion of tribe. But now, when you start learning about Haile Selassie, how could you ascribe the divinity to this emperor, or how was that process for the eye?
um, give thanks for the question. Well, I just look at the Bible as our map and passport, our lineage. Is the only thing to preserve a lineage of our people. I know there are many opinions of the Bible. I've spoken with several people who have different perspective on the Bible, and I have identified why, even if what I might consider might not make absolute sense to them based on where they're looking at it from, I am still allowed option or opinion. And in my opinion, I recognize that that book is the book of life that has stored and recorded the genealogy of the first individual that was given the use of oxygen up until this present time. And in the lineage that was specifically recorded by genealogy, that you could get the names of everyone throughout all generation to align straight back to King David, to align to King Solomon, and Solomon having intercourse with Queen of Sheba, which was the Queen of Ethiopia, that gave birth to Menelik the First. In our arsenal of history, there's a book called the Kebranigas, the Book of the Kings,
Yes, I.
which gives a detailed description of the birth genealogy of everyone from since the time of King Solomon and beyond, that His Imperial Majesty being the 225th descendant from the lineage of Solomon, which is not denied by the leaders of religion of today. On the 2nd of November 1930, 72 heads of every nation across the world went and bow and acknowledge that this is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, elect of God and light of this world, according to prophecy. And prophecy is when there is something that was spoken of that is to come. When prophecy becomes history, it becomes the fulfillment of prophecy. And
Okay.
I see prophecy fulfilled when His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I was crowned King of Kings, Lord of Lords. It gave alignment with the scriptures, it gave alignment with the genealogy. Now, in my awareness, Solomon had intercourse with many women.
Yes.
But the Bible specifically took the genealogy of two in particular, which is Queen of Sheba,
Mm-hmm.
which gave birth to that lineage of His Imperial Majesty. And there's a lineage from the next woman, another woman that the Bible highlight that he begat, and this one begat and begat Zeburiah and begat and begat,
Yes.
and then
Rehoboam was
Ram,
the son that
right.
came from that lineage.
Nice. And then it gave birth to Joseph, who they say is the husband of Mary, the mother
Yes.
of Christ, who I know Joseph is Jesus' father, because the only how to be of a lineage is to come out of a seed. So it is impossible for Mary to get pregnant without sexual intercourse. That might be a topic to raise a letter, but it's something we could go into. I
Yes.
will
Yes.
never argue about anything because I'm not interested in proving anyone wrong or
Yes.
proving me right to the point where I'm supposed to disrespect you
Yes.
because you have an opinion. If we can reason about something, let's not converse about it and live in love. Because I
Makes
have
sense.
people, that makes sense?
Makes sense, King.
Ras Tafari.
We don't have no time for the back and forth with a guy right now. You know what I mean? A man does have to know what him I do. And then we find common interests and we build from there, that is how
True, true.
His Majesty show us, because any nation, regardless of what they have dealt with before, His Majesty try to find a common interest, make we build a school, make we build a health center, make we do something positive and start from there. And I think that is the way to live your life, because there's always disagreements, but peace is not a is a becoming. So we always have to
True.
strive to attain that. So we love that. So in terms of that journey now, you're hearing in the music, because the time that you're talking about, this is the rise of the Anthony B, the Garnet Silk, the Jacure, the Sizzla Kalanji, Luciano. The music was at a height. Late 90s is when culture music kind of took over the airwaves for a time. Them let it through. I don't know who fell asleep in Babylon, but they kind of let this thing through the door, and it just busts out everywhere, I mean, ones were Ras, 'cause that's my uprising time too, I was at
Yes,
Howard
yes.
University them time there, and feeling that energy and putting on I Covenant same time, 98, 99, them times going up, So what was the I first interaction with the knowledge about Empress Menen now? Because usually you hear about the king first, and then now it would take more deeper research till you learn about the Queen of Queens. And how was that experience for the eye?
Well, that was joyful. Understanding the balance immediately because to learn about the king is to understand the queen, because they were crowned on the said day. And that is not a normal occurrence, but His Imperial Majesty, due to the honor and the highly highness in his representation. He above normal. He would do things that no one else has ever done before because he is the King of all kings and the Lord of all lords. And on that day, 2nd of November 1930, he was crowned with Empress Menen. And when you read up on the history of Empress Menen, you know that she was she was the wife of someone in a region, but not by choice. She wasn't that person's wife by choice, it's by tradition. And His
Yes.
Majesty His Majesty had a visit our region, and probably the eyes made four. And probably she saw some, not probably, most likely, once you watch the king in his eyes, you're gonna see something. And
Really?
because of the queen that she was ordained to be, he saw something, and they connected. And as everything else, there is a fight to accomplish the right thing. The right
Mhm.
thing don't ever come without a fight. It's not designed that way. So if we don't expect to have a fight, then we ain't built to be warriors. Don't expect things to be smooth. Daddy never say that that is how things going to be. And the servant is not greater than the master. And if they have fought against me, they shall fight against thee as well. But pursue with the strength that I have shown to you, and he shall be successful. And
Really?
Queen Omega stand up and fight and be that woman. Everything that she represents as a woman is an example to all the daughters of Jerusalem. If you want to have an example as a woman of how a woman's supposed to be, this is a woman who has highlighted intellectual ability as a woman, spiritual ability as a woman, moral ability as a woman, compassion, virtue, and discipline and respect. And these is the things that our daughters are not being fed today. That you find there are a lot of pretty, beautiful girls, but there are hardly any good, young, properly well groomed woman. These
Wow.
values are being diminished by the second, but all will not be lost because Rastafari live in the heart of his children, and we will be able to save some, not just our children, but even the daughters and them that might be astray at present. Is still our responsibility as the sons of God to heal the hurt at the daughters of Jerusalem. So when a man go wrong as a Rasta man, go wrong a woman, you have to be very, very particular in his representation towards her, as opposed to what a normal, human, a normal person in the world might give to her. Her experience with a Rasta man supposed to be different. It's supposed to mean more because our job is to heal and to strengthen and to build
You
and to
touch a
uplift.
point. No, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. I was waiting, but you take it there. I'm gonna go with the energy. The Virgin have a song called "What's Next," and I have this song on repeat because it just connect with I. The item know that on this platform we deal with the Rastafari family. I have videos telling Virgin how to vet your queen. I mean, how to really, deal with the daughter them, even sexually, and how them, in terms of holding the focus. We have a saying over here: purpose over pum pum. You know what I mean? That is what we
Sure.
push over here: purpose over pum pum. These things. But the Brethren song, I want the item to go and check it out after you watch this episode. What's next? Because it's so relevant, because we're having so many brethren who are having frivolous interaction with the daughters them. They're not representing that imperial dignity because probably a hormone reached them, and an excitement, and them just allow that impulsiveness without a plan. And one of the things that I love in the song is that the brethren said, "Do you have a plan?" You know what I mean? What's your plan before you take off your clothes and all these things? What's the whole plan for the relation? There's like, what's our vision for this union? Talk to I about writing that song and dealing with the daughters right now, because I have a lot of young brethren, young rasses that are watching, and I'm hoping to catch them before. And I'm going to be transparent. I'm a reformed Gallus. I grew up that way as a high school. We got through that life. So I don't
Yeah.
want to act like a hypocrite to the family. I always make that clear. I'm a married man now. 17 years with my wife. Give thanks. 20 plus years together. You know what I mean? 17 legal. So we leave that life whole heap of years ago. But a lot of youths are struggling right now, you know what I mean? And we're seeing so many broken homes in Rastafari, the same things we're seeing in Babylon. And You know what I mean? We have to do something. Talk to I and I, my family, about what's next, why you wrote that song, and what is the state of male-female relation in Rastafari that the I see.
All right. One of the things that drives my respect for woman is at a young age, two things I was privy to. I saw my mom get a kick in her belly from a
Wow.
stepfather.
Wow.
Right? I saw my mother get a kick in her belly from a stepfather, and I saw my first children's mother make a child. I was allowed in the room when she was delivering the child, and I saw what I still have a teeth mark on my hand presently after 23 years. And I was willing to take 5 more teeth mark when I saw what she had to endure to give birth to the seed that was planted in her.
Wow.
And my value for a woman based on these two things grew enormously. I don't know if psychologically it had something to do with just growing up single parent with my mom and then seeing her go through that as a woman. I said to myself, I will never ever raise my hand and hit a woman because all woman is my mother. Every woman is somebody's daughter. And how I felt when I saw what he did to my mother, if I was to do that to any woman, it would be my mother I was doing that to as well. I would be no better than my stepfather at the time. So
Wow.
I make an individual agreement with myself to never hit a woman. And I end up in relationships after that along my journey where I think it had women who do everything to get a lash in your ass. Sorry for saying it like that. They did things,
Yes.
to
To
interfere
provoke
with,
that. Yeah, to
to
provoke
provoke
that.
that,
Yes.
could, because I said that, I had to prove that to my own self. And I'm happy today that there is no one that could testify that I have ever abused them physically in any way as a woman, regardless of whatever miscommunication we might have had. And seeing a woman make a child, what a vagina goes through, what the pelvic go through, what she have to endure, you recognize a woman is not just something to have a pleasure place in mind to think about. Reasoning above passion. If we learn to put reasoning above passion, we would value our daughters, value our sisters, value our mothers. And it hurt me to see sometimes the things I hear guys speak already. I'm not against, I just say, you was a gallus at some time in your life. They know want to have brothers who is gallus again because we don't have the structure that we used to have, where early in our life we would receive principles on how to value a woman, so our sisters don't have to go through all them type of derogatory treatment
Yes.
before
And I
they
and I
arrive.
burn jealous, to be clear. I burn them. I burn it. I burn it to ashes. Because I don't see how it's productive to the family right now. So, but continue. I just want to make that clear. Say, we
Yeah,
burn
man, yeah,
it,
man.
but we burn it to ashes.
To ashes. But the influence at the time, the
Yes.
things that was taught and the things that wasn't taught would allow us to be in that place of deficiency in
Yes.
self, that we would have thought that would have been the way. That
Yes.
was the trending thing. But because of Rastafari, I trust this Rastafari would have give value to every other aspect of your life and every aspect of your being, that not just with woman, but with animals, with self, with people, that we would become more loving and kind, because you now start to identify how Rastafari would represent himself. And if he say, my children shall be called by my name.
Mm-hmm.
And when the CU or the CI, people in CI on the road and say, Rastaman, or Rastafari, but
Really.
you're not seeing his imperial majesty, but you're calling me by my father's name. It's an honor to be called by the name of His Imperial Majesty. So you say, Rastafari, I say Haile Selassie the first, and I give back the glory unto the Most High. But it's evident scriptically that we are the children of the Most High that are being called by His name. We might be the minority.
Yeah, because they don't see a Christian and say Jesus. You know what I mean?
No, man.
Or they say Yeshua. They don't do that. They only set up people. And this is through the four corners of the creation. You know, anywhere you go, they're going to say Rastafari, Rasta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
They're going to call some type of format. So what I say is factual.
And that added to the two experiences with the two, my mom and my first child mother, and the knowledge of Rastafari, the teachings of truth. Yeah, we obligated as Rastaman. We might not all be strong together, but we're supposed to strengthen each other to not be what we was yesterday, so we could create a better tomorrow.
Better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's no alternative. You know, there's no one coming to save us if we do not create the stability. You know, because one of the things I was saying is that if we want to retain our youths then within the liberty, we have to have stable families. We can build stable institutions that can employ our youths, because we supposed to be the ones employing our children. We shouldn't be sending them out to the wolves to eat their bread. You know what I mean? They should be able to send them to Uncle Prophet Benjamin business, and they start there, and then they work their way up, and then they start their own business. And you know, this is being done by many different communities. I'm not saying anything
well, this is all eventually for Rastafari community, because we at the rock bottom of the food chain. Where Rasta have to rise from is the furthest. Even though black people have to rise from far, Rasta have to rise a little further from just being black. In the journey of Rastafari and discrimination towards Rasta, even when slavery was abolished and black people was allowed certain other privileges, being Rasta would send you back to slavery status.
Yes,
and even worse. So it had the challenges that the forefathers and the elders in Rastafari had to face for this generation to have, or my generation to have what I got. Because as you say, give thanks for Sizzla Kalanji and Buju and Caperton, Anthony B, and all the other names that I don't have time. I can't mention now because it's so much. But these brothers molded us, these trumpet and them song, and we hear the voice. I was a child listening. I could remember listening to Sizzla songs and praying for him and say, Father, guide his soul, because his food was so rich, is that let him feed many more, and give thanks that he's still there battling and feeding. And I know who has eaten from their dish provided could now contribute to being a meal to a generation to come. And we all have to continue to pass on the baton. But where we come from, it's going to be difficult for us. There are Muslim schools, and Muslims have credit union among the community, which is they have grown and developed. There are Hindu schools and Hindu community and Hindu credit unions, because they are organized enough to create these establishments. You know, there are different people on this island who have achieved getting a holiday. There's a Baptist holiday, an Indian arrival day, which is now a holiday because they deserve it. They belong. They are present. They have a history that deserve that type of respect. Rasta too. We have to organize to advocate for what we deserve. Where we coming from, the battles of yesterday for our foreparents, we now have to carry on and do the best that we could do, so that the generation to come might be the ones to establish a Rastafarian school where we could learn about Marcus Garvey and learn about Emmanuel and learn about His Majesty and learn about black important people, and let that be how our children learn. Because when you go to a RC school, You just go to a RC church and you would say, Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death, because it comes with the package of the school. So when you come to Ras Tafari school, what comes with the package of Ras Tafari school is the knowledge of Ras Tafari. You know, so one day Marcus Garvey say Africa is not dead. Africa is only sleeping. And at present, it is evident that Africa has awakened. Africa has awakened.
What I've realized with this Lion Voice Network, and I knew this before, but it convinced we have all of the resources to do that right now. You know, I mean, we have doctors of education, we have educators that have of great acclaim. What we now need to do is harness the capital, and one of the things that I've done with I Brethren and Sister, we started the association of Rastafari Creatives ARC as a trade association, and that was part of the vision, is to bring together all of the ones who are working in various fields and to pool the capital, because we should have world-class institutions. When you go to Jamaica, most of the best high schools are Catholic high schools, you know what I mean? They have their own hospitals, health centers, all of these things. So same thing like
coming,
that.
man.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
you see, man.
so
we are the generation that are gonna do it,
Yeah, man, it's on its way.
It's on its way. See this link is a historic link, family, because they them know how we do things here at the Lion Voice. There's no one. This is a part one. There's no Amanda's come on here. We're going to be connecting the dots, working together to realize this fullness, because the elders have done their work. That's what Iman say all the time. The elders have done their work. We now are the adults, the bridge in between 40 and 60. We are the adults of the trad now. It's time for us to lay down the legacy. We can't ask no permission. We just have to get the work done. We know what's to be done. His Majesty has laid out the black print of what's to be done. It's nothing funny, nothing strange. And this takes us into our topic, because I always hear that Trinidad have the second largest Rastafari population in the Caribbean. I've never been to Trinidad. I'm just getting familiar with the Trinidad Rastafari community. I know brethren from Brooklyn. I'm in Washington, D.C. When I was coming up at the Bingy House, and even at Howard University, we had a portion to Ras's from Trinidad and Tobago. I've brethren from college days from Trinidad. And so I always knew Trinidad, I carry that current. As a born and a brethren who born and growing in Trinidad, what is the Rastafari vibration like in Trinidad? Just generally in the society, are there, does the IC Rastas everywhere, every day, or is it certain communities where you see Rastafari, or how is Rastafari structured in Trinidad?
Yeah, man, Rastafari is properly well established in Trinidad, pertaining to everywhere you go in this island, you're going to see a Rasta man. Most of the places you go, you're going to see a Rasta man. However, as a community, we have our challenges, as I said before, in organizing and centralizing to become more effective in working to the upliftment of each other and the brand called Rastafari.
Yes.
That, but I give thanks for all the elders and all the different communities, all the different bedrooms, all the different houses that live the life for His Imperial Majesty, despite differences in opinion that could be sorted if we find a common place to reason. Then we could climb over some mountains that the elders would have had encountered among themselves that could trickle down to this generation, that if not solved, would exist forever. And it won't, because that is not the prophecy. The prophecy is that we're going to win. And if we're going to win, then we have to win even these fight among ourselves. So one day, all the brothers will be able to reason and arrive at that place where, we're comfortable functioning in each other's presence, despite minor differences in opinion. Minor, I just want to say minor, because we all identify His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, the first, as the Emperor of Ethiopia, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. That is what binds us together. You know, we it have brothers who identify Marcus Messiah Garvey as the first ancient prophet of creation, come back again in this time to introduce the Christ man, who is Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, who is a representative of His Imperial Majesty and a priest after the order that His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie established in 1958 in the United Nations, the EABICCS. So it have things to talk about that could educate us, because plenty of the Rasta in the early stages was Rasta from a place of rebellion. To be Rasta is to rebel against scissors, to rebel against comb, to rebel against the system. It wasn't much about education. It was about just not accepting what was given. So you would find plenty Rastas going in the bush and starting to live vertical. Plenty man leave from the city, leave out Babylon, leave the job. You know, plenty tradesmen of high quality rather go in the bush and plant land and live peaceable and simple. And then they give birth to children that dig deeper into Rastafari because of how they grow, that was able to educate themselves and become of a more purposeful, a greater purposeful value to the redemption of Africa. Because there are people in all walks and standard and realms of representation in this earth to represent Rastafari. There are Rastafari politicians, activists, journalists, you know, and the day would come when we would represent our part in this earth, because we are the rightful rulers for earth. We not hurry to fulfill our purpose. We patient with the prophecy, because what just say will happen, will happen. Everything bound to us. We can't go. If anytime the scriptures prophecy fail, then the Almighty is a liar. And I haven't found one moment when He has spoken untruth. Everything that the words say will happen is happening. If it had to happen to me, that is what was prophesied. And if He spoke about a time of redemption, that day is on its way. Give thanks to be born in this period in time. If this is the time for that fulfillment, I would experience it. If not, I am to contribute to that day for the generation to come. Rastafari.
Yeah, man, that is how it should be. You know what I mean? And in terms of the persecution in Trinidad for the ganja, because right now in Jamaica, I'm working with the Rastafari Mansions and organization in terms of dealing with persecution surrounding the sacrament herb. You know what I mean? I have a very nice lion log of ganja songs as well. You know what I mean? What is that? How is that treated? Is it like Jamaica where you see man a hold them spliff on every corner, man a rub out them handmaker herb just kind of free up, or do you have to hide and go down at the gully bank to burn your spliff in Trinidad? Oh, what's the vibration in Trinidad around Rastafari and ganja?
Well, it used to be that way a couple of years ago, probably about 3 years ago, so far, that there was a decriminalization of marijuana where you allowed access to four trees per person. So per adult or above 18, you can have 4 trees in your home.
Okay.
If you have 2 adults in your home, you have 8 trees. You're allowed to walk with at least 1 ounce is the legal amount to move with at any given time. But before it reached to that, it was in the heights of persecution. It was a criminal. You get a criminal, image from being in possession of marijuana. Yeah, you're going in court and you're going to have a criminal record, like you are a threat to society. You are against the law for a grass that, the creator has created, which is a herb. And if marijuana is a wrong plant to grow in the earth, then the creator made a mistake. And it's some human beings who find that the creator should not have made this plant. So I find these human beings highly disrespectful. I find them real fast and outer place, as we would say in Trinidad, the outer timing, and they
Yes.
have no legal right, they have no human right, they have no oxygen right. Marijuana was created before man. Man was created on the sixth day, according to the Bible. Before man was created, the birds was here. Birds are our elders. Fishes are our elders. The herbs are our elders. We have to have respect for all our elders. That is manners. That is how it should be. So who are these people to say that the Almighty was he make one mistake by creating this plant? And only when they found the use for it in benefit of themselves, when they could regulate how they benefit from it, like everything else, is then they give us access to it. So whilst we're happy to have the privilege of not going through that level of persecution anymore for having a spliff, it's still heart-wrenching to see that when it's time to benefit from marijuana, that they are going to be the one in the chief positions when we were the one who had to make the sacrifice and walk all the way up the sea coast and go in the bush and work hard and take a chance and risk our freedom just to have access to this holy herb to feed our families, to hold a peaceful meditation. Because alcohol just bring you out of yourself, but marijuana just send you into yourself.
Wow.
And based on people not having in access to the inner man, they are portraying an outer representation. They look on the outside for what they want to be. They don't see value within themselves. They don't spend spiritual time within. They don't go into the holy sacrament and let the herb do its work, for it was created for a purpose. The body is the temple of the Most High. And when you look into a literal or a physical temple, you would see they would have a chalice or a cauldron that they would be swinging, that they put incense in, and they walk through and they sing. Most churches, the Catholic Church, different church, even when you look at bees, to get to honey, you smoke out it, and the bees going and get high and they're not going to sting you because the airy, the quiet, the calm. So marijuana does do the same thing to the mind. And when we smoke, we think. They don't want us thinking. When we think, we create. They don't want us creating. They want us following.
That is a fact. And remember that the elders advocate for this plant before they know about the endocannabinoid system. Before science showed the receptor sites within the human goodie, before the cancer patients started to campaign, before the epileptic patients start to campaign. You know what I mean? So we were saying that this plant was the healing of the nation. And now that it's becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry, as you say, we don't really see the inclusion. Was the Ras Tafari community in Trinidad, do you feel that they were targeted specifically for the use of the plant?
Well, Rasta needed the most. Rasta love it the most. So we see the value in it as a part of Rastafari for us. So seeing that it was illegal, we had to represent being illegal for the sake of having what we love. We didn't want to break any law, but we were willing to break the law if it means infringing on the right for us to go deep within ourselves. Because we want to go there. That is where we happy. That is where we praise our creator. That is where we love one another from. That is where we avoid conflicts. That is where we treat our woman the right way. That is where we smoke and make love to a woman, and it's different from drinking rum and making love to a woman. We find value in our herb. They had no value for our herb like we did, so they fought it. We had value, so we fought for it. Today we have a little more privilege, but again, we still not it thanks, but Why y'all in put us in the positions to be the one to reap the reward from our sacrifice? The years that it have brothers and sisters who spend in prison cell behind bars for our grass that you say is okay to have now. So what about their sacrifice and time? How are they to be recompensed for the amount of years they were deprived? How much man was in prison for weed, who wife was under so much pressure she had to go with another man to mind the family, not because she didn't love the man that was in prison, but she need to mind the kids, and sometimes it's hard for a woman and she have a decision to make, and sometimes the man in prison come out and he understand that wow, she didn't want to, but she was in a position to take care of our kids, and their reason, but again, is the fight that they give to the herb that destroy the lives of people. These people need to be recompensed, so give them positions where they can be financially stable for the years that their life was in ruin because of something that was wrong yesterday, that all you decide, okay, it ain't wrong again, it right today. But how to recompense for those people that were victims of your erroneous decision pertaining to a lawful aspect of marijuana?
Serious thing. Um, Talk to us about your writing process. You know what I mean? Because everything that you're saying, you put in songs. And as an artist, you know, myself, I love lyrics, you know, and I very lyrical. I like when an artist have something to say, you know, because you have some artists that come out and you can know that they're just doing phrases, you know, them just do catchphrase and them just punch. But the I would put in a category or a lion gory like a sis like a lanji where things just a flow out of the eye brain. You touch different topics, you're approaching them in different type of ways. You know what I mean? So me know that it's coming from an authentic place where this is an artist with he has a voice, he has something he wants to say. Um, you know, you're not just singing the basic songs, then you're touching, and even your ganja songs have a point. What is your writing process like?
um I would want to give that glory unto the most high. I, um okay, at the age of, let me say, about 17 years, after I finished school, growing up single parent, and now it's time. How am I going to be a contributor to the home after the home was already in poverty? And I have a big brother who was working towards making things better. And now I finished school, but I finished school with no subjects. I wasn't well at my academics, as would say, so I didn't come out of school having any certificate in ones or twos. How did this measure it down here? And then how am I to be a contributor to my family circumstance? And I study if to be a police, if to be a what, if to be, different options, a fireman. And I was walking from a village close to where we live one night, and I would talk to the creator on my way home, talk to myself, the God within me, and I say, Father, I don't know what it is I want to be when I grow up. I don't have like any, like I can't see what my future would be like or what I would like it to be like. I didn't have an option, a choice. I say,
Mm.
you give me life, Daddy. I would like you to take this life that you gave me and mold me and shape me into whatever pattern or tool you would like me to be in your vineyard. Whatever service that you require of my life, that is what I want to be. I want to be a servant of you in whatever field. And if I, as a son, could ask you for something as a father, I would like to sing songs of righteousness unto my people. But if that would interfere with what you want from me, forget that singing thing. But if it's okay, I would be happy. And you have granted me both, because you have allowed me to be an artist to this magnitude. And I'm thankful for whatever slice of cake the Father allowed me, because He gave this to me. I might not be as popular as many. I might not be as financially successful as many, but that was never the mission. He has given me exactly what I asked for, and he has given to me the opportunity to work for him exactly how he would like. So that stage that I sing on, sometimes at 20 by 20, sometimes at 60 by 40, the size of the stage that we would sing on for a crowd. When you come off that stage, you end up on the largest stage ever, which is the stage of life.
Hmm.
That is not measured by 20 by 20. That is your every other moment after you come off that stage. So when you come off that stage, being an artist don't stop. When you come off that stage, you don't stop perform. So I'm on stage doing what it is I love, and then I'm off stage doing what he wants of I and I.
Give
I love
thanks.
both work. Give thanks, so Father. That's the Father.
Give thanks. Big up Atarchi. Music and next great artists in the chat. Big up and family. Any questions you have, we have here Honorable Prophet Benjamin. Any questions you have in the chat, you know how we do it here. This is the Lion Talk Live. There's a reasoning and it's a family. Big up the Lion Pride in the chat. We are now 18 strong Lion Pride on Patreon. We are growing. Those who are here from under 100 subscribers, remember when we had 2 people in the Patreon for 2 years. We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary, June 21st. We're trying to get 30 for your angels in the Patreon. I want to spice it up a little bit too, family, because I'm noticing is more sistren that are supporting the platform than the brethren. I want my brethren them. Don't make it look so. Don't make the Rastafari daughter them outdo the eye them. As brethren, we need to support the thing and come up. So we're going to have a little friendly competition to see who we can get more in the Patreon. Brethren are sistren. Right now, the sistren them a lead. Big up all of the sistren lists. Just joined us. And the family is growing. So we big up. Also, remember to subscribe to the platform if this is your first time joining us here. We are Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media. We are growing. We are bringing the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story because, as you can see, you know, the Honorable Prophet came on the line. We spent an hour. We just talk about His Majesty, Rastafari, things that concern us. We can't make our thing look like it's a footnote. And then people want to bring in a mix up on all these things on different platforms and serve other agenda. So big up everyone who is watching and who is supporting Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media. Again, put your questions in the chat. You have any questions? We have one of the biggest artists in Trinidad and Tobago here with us live. We're on Facebook for the first time tonight as well. So if you're watching from Facebook, big up all of the Facebook family. This is the Lion Pride and Patreon dollars at work. We upgraded the platform so we can stream on multiple platforms right now, family. So we are dealing with the thing in a real time. So forward to the I journey. We want to talk about the music now. I'm a creative industry attorney. I know the business. I'm an artist as well. I have music. So we can take this many directions. I want to talk about though the reality of the economics of being an artist, because we have a lot of young artists that watch. The same Atarchi that just big us up. We were reasoning on his interview, and you know, one of the things that we were saying is keep your day job, you know, because a lot of artists say man an artist, and then he's trying to be an artist, he's not making any money. Have the daughter them coming, he's probably having youth and not able to make an income, and it creates a lot of instability and problems. And as an artist, you need money to invest before others believe in the eye. You have to believe in yourself. Talk to us about how do I see it, you know?
The same principle applies. The fundamental do change. Reasoning above passion. So it's good to have a passion for your music, but you must have a level of reasoning to understand the balance of how you're going to accomplish your success. So your desire for wanting to be popular and to make it in music is different from the reality. If you have a day job, that making sure your family is stable, which is priority, and you have faith that you're gonna make it in your music one day, through reasoning and balance, you work it out so that until the music could balance your financial affairs, you don't leave out your financial stability that makes your family comfortable to go in pursuit of something that not giving the reward that is required in a timely fashion, because it could create challenges and issues that could destroy the family unit. You just want to hold it together, you know? Not do, keep the passion at the reasoning. Because for me, coming out of Trinidad with the zeal and how it came, you know, it didn't have a business structure to things.
Yes,
It was
that's
the
what I
joy. It was the joy of, to me, making it is when you gain popularity, that the public are aware that you exist and your songs playing all over the country, you feel accomplished. But that is just one part of it. There's something based on my experiences, things that I didn't have in place for myself in the early stages that I had to rectify years after because it wasn't correctly done.
Okay,
The foundation of any building is the most important part of it.
talk
If the
about it.
building if the building is not square, when it's time to put up the upright, so the galvanized, the guttering gonna be funny. A builder would know exactly what I'm speaking of. So if the foundation can take the weight that you want to put on top of it, it could also crack. So it's important for a foundation to be strong. And in the early stages of my career, the business aspect of my career, the foundation wasn't strong. I recognized this along the way, and I had to take down some pillars and buy over some material and cast over the decking and tie over some steel so as to be able to put weight on top of the foundation, you know. But I also know I use what I learned to help the generation to come to not to build in the way that I was building, or else you're gonna have to go through the same thing. And to avoid that, this is how it should be done. So I'm happy for what people might call a bad experience. I wouldn't call it a bad experience. I would call it my part to learning in preparation for the generation to come. And if you feel me, Angel?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. In Jamaica, the sound system has been the backbone of the reggae music industry. You know, most artists are surviving off of dub plate money. Because the tour, you know, you tour the European circuit is summertime. You know, you might do a Cali run. East Coast is very shaky right now. You know, what I mean, of United States is probably the worst it's ever been. Um, so most artists right now, to be honest, you know, what I mean, in Jamaica are surviving from sound system culture or other things. I want to big up Icula. I interviewed him. He's an international artist, but he really funds his music through his farm. He's a farmer, you know what I mean? And he has a commercial farm, and the revenue he uses to pay his band, do the rehearsals, build a studio. He did everything through his farm, you know what I mean? And I always have to bring him up as an example where I would like to see the youth them take this thing. Because as I say, I know the reality of the industry, of the business. What is it like in Trinidad? Are sound systems the same type of integral force in Trinidad in terms of dub plate cutting, or are there enough to sustain? Do international sounds link the item? We just had Queen Omega. Of course, she went viral and she said the dub plate them are coming, but before the viral moment, she says every now and then, you know, how do the artists in Trinidad sustain themselves in terms of economics?
Well, where to pass with this one? You see, Trinidad reggae.
Yes.
Um, I hope I'm speaking on behalf of all the other reggae artists in Trinidad. And if I say anything that might not be the opinion of any either one of them, I stand to be corrected from a humble place in heart. But Trinidad being a place recognized for soca music, the government fuels this culture. When your boss as an artist in Trinidad, if you come out with a song for the first time this year and the song big this year, everywhere that has a carnival in the world, you gonna be. From crop over to Miami Carnival, Atlanta Carnival, you name it.
Caravana. I grew up in
Caravan,
Toronto.
right.
Yeah.
So you make the circle.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
make the circle, you reach back home with something, you know, to make you feel like my work is accomplished. When you is a Jamaica is the home of reggae music. So there's a pipeline for reggae music that exists once
Yes.
you're a Jamaican.
Yes.
Respect to that. Give thanks for all the works that everyone has done to create such a pipeline. That the
Yes.
opportunity is there. We have gas in Trinidad. They have reggae in Jamaica.
True.
You
Truly.
know, so I recognize the value of Jamaican. The poverty line is breached by talent.
Yes.
When you check these African brothers from Jamaica, capability, vocal wise, thinking wise, you know, the ability to express and create music that could be warm and welcome to the world. All hail to my brothers in Jamaica. Give thanks for the strength.
Big up all of the artists, them.
Yeah, man, all the artists there. But there's a pipeline for Jamaica. There's a pipeline for
Yes.
soca music. Trinidad reggae, on the other hand, has no pipeline.
Okay. Reality talk now.
There's no pipeline for Trinidad reggae. And Jamaicans are very territorial, and I understand. And that is
Okay.
okay. They have to preserve their gas. Trinidad
Okay.
is preserve their gas. So Jamaica have to preserve their gas. It's not that they don't welcome with a heart of love talents. We have to go to them and they would share the love because they're loving people. Reggae music is a loving music. They're not going and say, artists from Jamaica singing reggae, we're not giving him a chance. I never get that energy from Jamaica reggae community, you know. But at the same time, the fact still remain, we need to create a pipeline for Trinidad reggae. So
Okay.
promoters internationally can identify. Other than that, give thanks for the example that Queen Omega has set. Because Queen Omega is a sister been fighting for years as a woman. And you know it harder for a woman in the industry than a
Yes.
man. But
Definitely.
I've known Queen Omega from when I wanted to start out in the early ages of Robert Amar and Eiley Dread, when they came to Trinidad and they did a show and they started to look for artists to help. And Queen Omega was among the package.
Okay.
No, and she would try and for years she been there and now her thing ripe enough to be how it is and I'm proud of her. And I give thanks to Rastafari for allowing that sister that break, and I hope it reach as far as it could because she represents Rastafari, Africa, woman, and by extension Trinidad and Tobago. You
Love
know?
that. We
So
love
give
that
thanks to
unity.
Queen Omega. Yeah, man.
Love that unity. So, are there sound systems in Trinidad? What is the dub plate culture? Is that enough to sustain an artist, or is not enough?
Again, because it happens, we get it from time to time. Well, it's fluent,
Fluent.
but it's not. It's still not there
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
where it could be because nothing about Trinidad reggae is already there. You know, we on our way to somewhere, and everyone now is a contributor to reaching that place. Probably the person from Trinidad to represent reggae and get that full mileage out of it, probably in kindergarten right now. Who
Truly.
knows?
Truly.
Probably. But when that time reached, the foundation that we would have set for that child, there's no exploitation to take place. You can't exploit that child because they would be educated in the individual representation of themselves. I call it the ITB. You're
Okay.
individually, your talent, and your business. That is the three aspects that an artist need to recognize on their journey to success. If you're a talented artist with a terrible individuality, it will work against you. If you're a good businessman with a terrible talent, it's not going to work for you. When you align the three,
True.
you have a talent with a nice individuality, and you
Yes.
understand the business of music,
I
then
like
you're on
that.
your way to divine greatness.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Succinct and cut and clear. I like that. In terms of um, revenue, so mostly it's tours and festivals that the item rely on. Then
Yeah, well, give thanks to, I want to say, the the club owners and the bars in Trinidad that is welcome the talent and the music, that is give the artists and them an opportunity to
yeah,
generate an income.
important.
So yeah,
Important
give
to acknowledge
thanks.
those people are part of that economic ecosystem.
Yes, yes.
And that is something, because we're going to talk about repatriation. A brethren from South Africa, I was reasoning with Ras Ainity, big up Ras Ainity's interviews on the channel, was saying that they're going to be using reggae music. They're trying to raise some millions of dollars to do a 5-year plan. And I was explaining to the brethren that because of how the reggae industry is, we really have to, as Rastafari, come together and strategically plan out how we can control the industry from seed to table, from venue ownership to promotion to media. You know, that's one of the reasons that I'm creating this platform, because we need to own the publishing to get the word out, the marketing, all of these things. It come down to the platforms and these things. And as Rastafari, we're too reliant on non-Rastafari people to do our ecosystem. You know what I mean? If we don't get called for tours, like we think pop down, and we need to be in charge of that market. We need to be the ones that are curating that audience, you know what I mean, ourselves, and not wait for a promoter to decide that Rastafari is in fashion now and I'm going to draw for Rastafari artists. We need to have that audience, and Africa provides us with that opportunity, but we really have to come together. I'm gonna work with the eye, and I'm gonna say this publicly. All of the artists that are willing, you know, I'm really championing this ecosystem model of how artists can create their ecosystem so that they can monetize from the global market without having to worry about touring and all these things. And the eye, looking at your lion log is a perfect candidate, because you have a loyal audience. But what is happening is that a lot of IN are not harnessing our audience. You know, you hear Iman here I talk about Patreon. There's a reason why you hear me a big up a Patreon and the people who, because these are people who monthly are subscribing and are sending in funds, so that regardless whether YouTube pay me or not, you know what I mean, my audience who want to hear what I'm saying is the one. And that crowdfunding model, building community around your art as a creative, that's so there, you know, they call it the super fan in the music business, you know what I mean, the super fan model. You hear about Beyonce in the Beehive. Beyonce just drop an album, no marketing, no promo, but because she have her audience curated, bam, it gone to number one. You know what I mean? That's an extreme. That's an extreme example of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But every artist can do that, because every artist, you know, if you have 1,000 people that pay the eye $10 a month, that's 100,000 a year, my brother. You see me? I say. So it makes it a lot more realistic than you trying to be a mega star. Everybody can be a mega star, like everybody can win the lotto. But a man can harness 2,000 people out of 8 billion worldwide to follow their music and support their music and make a good living and sustain a family. And, you know what I mean, pay a staff that can do them social. You know what I mean? So it's how we look at this thing. That is what I want to really bring to the family, you know what I mean? Bring it down, and then the ecosystem. I come on my ecosystem. Some of your fans now are gonna come and subscribe here.
Sure.
Some people who see the eye here, they're gonna go to IG, look at what the eye have going on. They're gonna follow the eye. The eye going to gain some fans from this interview. So when all of these creative ecosystems collide, the audience just continue to multiply and to grow, and we create our own Rastafari macro ecosystem. This is where we have to be thinking right now, because again, no one's coming to save us. And if we are waiting for the people to think that we're cool again, we're going to lose, because right now a mark of the beast, they're lowering the vibration to slackness. Talk to us about this Trinidad phenomenon that is taking place. I keep hearing about Trinidad, beer badness are going on Trinidad. Man, a lick shot, all kind of thing. The same bleaching and chap dancehall type of vibration. What's the vibe like with the youths them in Trinidad in terms of dancehall and reggae culture there?
Ticklish question.
This is Lion Voice,
Yeah, man, a lion voice.
Touch,
And that's
yeah,
a ticklish question. It deep, it wide, and it high. It's something. These brothers who sing in Trinidad music is talented brothers. When you listen to the creativity behind their content, you can tell that internally they have the DNA of power. They have the ability to connect to their generation. However, what influence their inspiration is the change. We had Sizzler, we had Caperton to give us that motivation that we would look up to want to be like. Now, dancehall music, while I am aware that what dancehall used to be has been misinterpreted by many. So it's a culture, just like our soca music is a culture, dancehall music is a culture, and I stand to be corrected. But looking back at Jamaica, when you look at Sting was an anticipated event in Jamaica.
Yes,
And the artists weren't really in any real physical rivalry with each other. But they had to display that atmosphere of war because of the nature of what the culture represents, which is Ninja Man versus, well, everybody else. But I think that war everywhere,
Super Cat, Shaman.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Who lyrically superior on the night, because sometimes this year this one win out Sting, and next year the next rival win out Sting or somebody else. It's a culture. But when we take it beyond the lyrical content to apply the word to be daily living, then it becomes a danger to the generation to come.
Okay.
So because I live in Trinidad, I have kids who growing up here who I would like to grow up in a nice society. If the influence of the music is shaping the mind of the generation that they now come out of school, 20,000 children coming out of school every year, not all of them going to be employed, not all of them going to be educated, and they don't really have infrastructures in place for every one of them. And this happened for 5 years in a row. How much delinquent youths, how much youths that, I shouldn't say delinquent, let me take that back. How many youths that need the harnessing of their ability in a different field, because they aren't to sit in an office. That is not the job, that is not the purpose. The brain don't function like that. And if there's nothing provided for their brain to harness what it have in it to contribute positive to society, then they're gonna go where the money is. And when the reggae music is not the trend, which is they don't want to use reggae music to make it because it didn't look like you're making it from reggae music. But when you sing slackness, pornography, gunman lyrics, it seems you get plenty views, you get excitement, and they want to be there because it's pain. And this is poor people who want to come out of a situation. And if this is what providing the money at the time, then any port for a storm, as a sailor would say. So I don't agree. I don't subscribe. I don't promote that, but I don't condemn them for their contribution,
Yes.
because everyone still have a choice. By they doing what they do, give me more reason to do what I have to do. So I'm
Yes.
not saying don't do that, brother. I now have to say, brother, there's something else you could do. It's up to you to pay attention along with the generation to come. I'm saying that as to not to condemn my other
Yes.
talented brothers.
Definitely. I grew up on Bounty Killer. You know what I mean? They used to call I on Bounty in high school.
Uh-huh.
That's how hard I used to go for Bounty Killer. You couldn't tell me nothing about no guy, you know what I mean? Big up Freeway Dread, Lion Pride on Patreon and checking Tree Lightning Bolt him sending. Big up Kendall James, God bless the man them higher, bless up yourself. Big up Sister Marsha, no question, just greeting to the brethren, hail the eye, blessed reasoning, give thanks to the Almighty, give thanks to the Lion Voice, big up yourself, Sister Marsha, say this is your house. Big up Sister Sophia, regular Lion Pride checking in. Yes, even election campaign, she was talking about the power of the music, singing badness, but many of them have proper business, but not showing that side of them because the badness is what sells and getting the forward on the airways through
Exactly.
and rights. And I think what we have to do as Rastafari, because I overstand I was well diplomatic, is really show the youth that words sound have power. So when you sing that negative, because everything that Bounty used to sing and I used to love and I used to defend it, we see them think the manifest real, The man said disrespect and make me get wild. Now spare the mama, the papa or the child. And we come live to see some man run in a house and kill everything. That's a regular thing at Jamaica now with the badness, it evolved. He was just singing them song in that time, but no, all of them badness there was so extreme, it become normal, man, I killed baby in a pram, all kind of wickedness, heights of wickedness that we never think we would have seen. So I think one of our duty as Rastafari is really to show the youths them that these words take on life, the power of frequency. You know what I mean? When it leave your mouth at the speed of sound and it travel to the ends of the earth, you know what I mean? And vibrate and, show them the metaphysics of the energies and the spirits that they tap into and these demonic, till we see in Jamaica, man even start call themselves demon. We see man start, the manifestation, you go into the garrison and you see man literally look white like a zombie and I carry an umbrella in the broad day. We live and see these things, Walking Dead, you know what I mean?
Who sell these ideas? Who sell us these ideas?
But this is
We,
it.
we didn't create the things to look like that. And why do we think we need that as a people to be acceptable? And how long has this been going on? For years. Because we have sisters who deny their natural image to resemble something that customization has done to them. When we grew up looking at a white dolly, when we grew up looking at a particular type of hair, we think we need to buy that image. We need to buy our beauty. Unless you have a certain amount of money put aside for your beauty, you're not going to look good. That is where the world reach. When beauty used to be something you used to behave, now beauty is something it is look. So when we lost moral values, we lost direction. The somebody creating these bleaching cream. Why would you do that? What is the purpose of that creation? Is it, and what happened to us that we don't value how we look, that we think we need to alter that image to be acceptable as beautiful? So it deeper than just present. Something caused that. And if we go into causation, we can recognize whilst I am against it, I do condemn the people who partake of it. I more empathize or sympathize with them because these is my brothers and sisters who has
Victim.
lost their way. They are
Yes.
victims of something. And I am not to not love them. I am not to burn them out and say fire burn and your weak heart and you sell out. I am to tell you, you're selling out. You need to strengthen your heart. You
Right.
need to find back yourself. I'm not to look down on you for your weakness. I'm to provide a strength in your dilemma. Because if I was there, I would I would have been happy if somebody helped to pull me out.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. We have a Kebilan Empress sounds on the check-in. Bless up the Royal Empresses. They play some serious roots vibration music. Greetings and pleasant night, everyone. What are your views on mental health challenges and self-care for the eye?
Mental challenges and self-care. Um, Anytime we try to live life without the divine mind as guide, we have a mental challenge. We're born with that. We born Every plant in the earth have a challenge. Diseases, sickness, grasshopper, goat, cow. Before you reach your full potential, you are always exposed to the radiation of something that could hinder your growth and development, mentally, physically. Surviving through that is through faith, through awareness, consciousness. Consciousness is knowing that you know. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and a door shall be opened. Ask and it shall be given. If we try to navigate our way through the earth, this use of oxygen without divine guidance, then we're dependent on ego to show us the way. Ego is I, how I see it, how I feel, how I think, how I would like it to be. And that sometimes does need correcting because your eye is be built by the generation before you who has been contaminated by the generation before them. And we need to be honest to ourselves in self-recognition, as I say, self-care. Caring for yourself could be a dangerous thing because there's something higher than self. Self is related to selfishness, but there's also a term called selflessness. Selflessness is something that everyone in the world, if every individual in the world get up every day with the intention to make somebody else happy, who would be unhappy? If everyone woke up every day and did not depend on self, I'm just going to give. I want to give today. Look, even the poorest of man wake up to give. All he have is a dry coconut. He hungry, but you know what? I go in and give. When he do that, somebody now cook a meal and say, I'm gonna give. If you eat dry coconut by itself, how much that would do? But because of the fact that we all just wake up to give today, mean you might just get a meal. And if this happened for a week, we fix the issues of the world through the power of Rastafari. That is how powerful Rastafari is. Because Rastafari is love, is the reflection of his majesty principles, is the reflection of his majesty moral in our behavior, in our liberty. It's not something to talk, it's something to behave. The word love is not a talk, it is a behavior pattern that needs to be described in your behavior. Talking love is cheap. When you behave it, you represent what the definition means, and that is when it becomes real.
Serious thing. We have another question here or comment. Programming from way back, that pattern through DNA cause water is more in the body than anywhere else, and water is one thing that don't ever lost its memory.
True.
There's a serious sound. Lenny Paraman said, Rastafari blessings, kings and queens. And
So,
family,
so
when you make your comment, also let us know where you're tuning in from, so we can check in from all side of creation. I want to ask the eye if there are, to give us 3 songs in your lion log that speak to the brand of Prophet Benjamin. If you had 3 songs that could give people a feeling for who the eye is are and what the eye represent, give us 3 songs that ones can search after this interview to kind of get the vibe of what the eye dealing with.
I would say you could go look for What's Next, as you mentioned before. Um, there's a song called, which one out of those? What's Next? Um, Inner Man. There's a song called The Inner Man.
Yes, powerful.
What's Next? The Inner Man. There's a song called Choose to be a Rasta Man.
Aye,
You know, I
yes.
would choose those 3 out of the many catalogs thus far, which is not much because I still have plenty work to do, but those 3 songs would be able to help in some way, or should be able to help in some way or the other.
So stream those songs, family, and give us what are some of the highlights of your journey as music. Some of the big shows that you featured on. I'm trying to give people the scale because there are reasons so humble. People might not know the levels of Prophet Benjamin, but I just had a festival. Cause me do my due diligence and me look and see what I deal with. And me say, yeah, the brethren thing is not no like a simple something with the brethren I deal with. Him humble, you know what I mean? But doing some mighty work. What are some of the highlights, that you can recall of their journey musically?
Well, I could remember giving up when I had finished school. Most of my bedrooms and sisters that I was close to, they had the opportunity to migrate and go and live in the US of A. And some of them I was close to, so I wanted to go to as well. I wanted to go to America, so I would ask, well, how to get there. And at the time, you have to get bank statement and job letter and whatnot, and how much money you have to have in the bank to show when you go to the immigration, so as to be allowed probably a possibility of entering the US. When I studied how much things that was required and how financially disorganized and poor I was at that time, the dream of going there, I just give up on that and say, you know what? I had a gold teeth in my mouth, that a cap with a gun on it. And that's a slug nose 38 at this teeth here. I pull it out and I pelt it in the bush. I had an earring in my ear. I pull it out, I pelt it in the bush. I had my ID card on me. I take it out and I pelt it in the bush. And I say, I give up on the world. I go in and find God. And I left and I went in the jungles and lived for a period of years. It took me 3
Years in the
months.
jungle.
Yeah, man. It took me
And,
3
and,
months.
and hold on there, big family, because I watch a sister, a wildlife sister on IG. I can't remember her name, from Trinidad. Trinidad bush are some serious bush. Jamaica, Jamaica bush. We don't have nothing in Jamaica bush that can really kill you. You know what I mean? You have some
Yeah, man.
crocodile in some place, but the crocodile them leave you alone. But Trinidad have some bushmasters,
Yeah, man. That's a
some
bush, man.
some
My
serious.
papi.
Yeah,
Yes,
anaconda and all kind of vibration. How was that bush life?
Yeah, well, when you understand creation and you become one with creation, the jungles don't harm you. It's out in the city we have danger.
Okay.
In the bush don't really have danger. When you adapt to it and you become one with it, snakes don't really attack anyone, unless you probably put it in a position to be in a flight or fright mood.
Okay.
Most likely a snake would avoid you, no matter how venomous it is. But we have been given the depiction that a snake is responsible for the fall of mankind. So whenever we see a snake, we think it's an enemy and kill it, but it's not. You know, we are our own enemy. A snake has not destroyed the world. It's human beings who've been destroying the world.
So they ever buck up a bushmaster in the bush?
Plenty time, man. Plenty
Okay.
time. Honest to the most high, there was one time I was climbing a rock and I'm reaching on top of a certain precipice and climb up and I stand up. As I stand up, a snake raised about 3 feet away from me. And I'm sure it got startled by me. I was startled by it, and we stand up watching each other for over a minute. The snake not moving and I not moving. I can't go back because I will fall down in a ditch. I can't go forward because it's in my way. And he checking to see and I checking to see. And I started mentally speak to him and say, I mean you no harm in my mind without words. But he stood there for over a minute watching me in a way I can't move. And then he just leave and he move off. And I recognize here we are the head of creation. We just lost certain communication based on lack of knowledge and not being exposed to the truth that we know. Or we were re-educated to fit a criteria. But in our original DNA, we have abilities that we know not of, that we might meet along the way, depending on the circumstance.
Oh, so that was a bushmaster that there I was looking at. What kind of snake was it?
I did just call that snake. What is called that kind of snake? Green, a machete.
Okay.
In Trinidad, they call it a machete.
It's venomous.
No, but it
Okay.
bite like but it hit you a couple bite fast. You get 4, 5, 5 bite, you know. But it hasn't been known for killing anyone.
Okay, gift
No, but it stands high. However, when it's big, if you're 5 feet, it can watch you at 5 feet in your eye.
Wow. So yeah, that is serious. That is serious. So but yeah, I want to stay focused on the highlights. Come in know there I have whole heap of musical highlights on the journey.
Yeah, man. Well, the highlights, in going through that moment, I said, in giving up, I was saying that to say in giving up on going America
Yes.
and all them thing, you know, I end up going up in the bush and spend time. And it's in the bush I get my inspiration and my visions, and I start to write, and then opportunities presented itself until one day I was able to reach in the place that I give up on without even paying to go there.
Okay.
Now people buying ticket for me to come, people working on my visa for me to come because I give up on the world. And the Lord say, you give up on the world for me, well, I'll give you more than the world. But that is his word. He said, give me your heart and I'll give you my Father's everlasting kingdom. And I gave him my heart. And I've been to places I never dreamed of. I could have only dreamed of being, but I was not prepared to be there. I didn't have what it takes to travel the world. And through Rastafari word and through loving and trusting in Rastafari, I was given the said privilege. I've been to many places in the earth through the power of the word. Give thanks to Rastafari.
Give thanks.
What that is the highlight. That is the highlight.
Yes, no, and that's powerful. What are some of the biggest shows you have been on, or festivals?
Washington DC, Beanie Man, Buju Banton, Barry Salmon. I would say Trinidad had some big events as well. Canada had some big events as well. And I still want to say the poor communities and the communities that have the least amount of crowd. Sometimes it's not the quantity of people that are sing for, but the quality of people. And I've been to areas where they were just above 70, sometimes probably it's just above 100. But the energy and the value of the moment mean more to me than a full arena.
Serious. We have reached 2 hours, believe it or not. Me tell you the time I go fly. You know what I mean? I really give thanks for the eye. Blessing I and I. This is part 1. Whole heap of things that we could touch. The people them love the eye. you know what I mean, on the platform.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
You know, Freeway Dread to the brethren sound like a co-host to the Lion Voice. That means that they are well articulate and vibesy. Give thanks for the
Give thanks,
response.
brothers.
You know what I mean? Prophet Benjamin, the Kebilan Empress sound, the Empress, them are hail the eye and I give thanks for the eye.
Ras Tafari, right.
Grenada family checking in. Greetings in the name of His Majesty. Big up from Grenada. Bless up yourself. Ethiopia family are checking. Ras Bizu, the Messi. Much love, respect. Rasta knows. Bless up yourself, family. We Bush are the best Bush. That's why they love to be coming from Maruga.
Blessed love.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
From Trinidad, brother, blessing Trinidad family, bless up. South Trinidad, blessing the bush is my meditation right now, calling me for some time now. So, you know what I mean? One's inspired, and there's a theme. If you watch a lot of the videos, a lot of the brethren and sisters have appeared where they spend years going to the bush. And one of the things that we're saying as part of our education system as Rastafari, we need a rite of passage for our young people where they can go into the bush and, you know, in a structured kind of learning, you know, where they go through certain training, learn how to build them house from natural material, learn how to build fire. You know what I mean? They go through the whole natural man kind of training course. So these are things that we've been reasoning on this platform, rites of passage, how necessary it is so that we can train our young man to lead the next generation of Rastafari. These are the works that we have, Prophet Benjamin. And like I said, I'm honored to have the eye as a brother. You know, it's like I'm meeting a brother where, you know what I mean, for the first time. And we're going to work together because we want Trinidad reggae. We want to help to build that pipeline, you know what I mean, that the eye talking about. And that's one of the reasons I built this platform. That's one of the reasons I don't just talk to Jamaican artists, because we want to, you know, Rastafari is bigger than Jamaica. You know what I mean? Rastafari is from sea to shining sea, from the rivers to the ends of the earth. You know what I mean? That's how we learn this thing. So we can't ever relegate it to an island. Big up Lion Pride and Patreon. Remember Fight Babylon and the check-in from North Carolina. Appreciate love the vibes. Selassie I peace. Blessing family. We give thanks for the consistent support. So we are here doing what we do, giving thanks. Okay. Greeting the Chaz Match, Floyd Jarvis. Big up yourself. Big up Trinidad, Floyd Jarvis. We are going to link this bridging have a lot of history on Rastafari in America, you know, before Leonard Howell time. I saw the eye interview and I never knew TV. We're honored by the eye. Present in the chat too, Floyd Jarvis. Big up yourself. So family, you see what's happening here. The family is gathering. This is the gathering space up on a Thursday. We are here live doing what we do. We have an interview with Kip Ezekiel from Ethiopia. We're going to be talking about the building of the Trinity Church. I will be appearing at a reggae conference Saturday, but it's from starting tomorrow here in the DC area, Roots Reggae Conference. I'll be talking about politics and reggae music, so we'll have Lion Voice there. We'll be bringing that there. Give us any final words on Prophet Benjamin for the global Rastafari family. Anything on your mind, how people can reach the eye, how they can support the eye. We're about circulating the Rastafari Pan-African dollar. Send some money this brethren way. So if you have any project, anything where, you know, release, we need to download, we want the Lion Pride flex and make we circulate this fiat currency before it crash, family, because the fiat currency, the paper money, is on its way to crashing. While we have it a run through our hand, make other races touch it so we can change it into tangible assets. And that's what we're on right now. Tell us your final word and any projects that I have that the family can support.
I would bless the love royal family. I would like to say give thanks to the I Lion Voice for inviting me on the I platform to meet with other spiritual divine brothers and sisters from across the globe. Give thanks for everyone comment of upliftment and motivation to my heart. I hope that the words that the Father put in I and I mouth is a strength to the item heirs and future generation as well, to help to keep and to guide and to revive and to restore and to finally preserve this divine order of Rastafari. Thanks for the opportunity, Honorable Bedrin. Um, Prophet Benjamin Official on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is where the eye would find any information on the future to narrow it down. But more important than Prophet Benjamin, in Rastafari, the eye then would find eternal universal peace. Search Rastafari, study Rastafari, study his teaching, study his word, read his book. Inside of there, your life will be transformed to representing correctly as you live your life through using oxygen. Blessed love, brothers and sisters. Love the item, and I'm looking forward to another time. I enjoy the moment, and I wouldn't mind coming and reason with my people again any given time suitable to the eye. Sila,
No,
Selassie, Jah,
yeah,
Rastafari.
Rastafari. They is part of the family, and like I say, we're gonna reason offline about this whole ecosystem. I'm gonna invite the eye to join us with the Association of Rastafari Creatives. We're going to plug in. This is not no loosey goosey. We interview. I'm gonna see you till 20 years down the line. No, we're gathering the family. We're gathering
Proactive.
the family. Yeah, man. A time. I'm a Gideon. World War III time. It's time to lock arm in arm with the global family, and we will do things. You know what I mean? Make things happen. Make
Yes,
the
sir.
sacrifices. Make the moves. Them repatriation. We need a soundtrack. We have to call the eye to sing some song. The singers and the players of instruments shall be there. You know what I mean? So we are rising. We are coming together. The lion pride is growing. The whole fullness. So family, give thanks once again for coming. Lion Talk Live.
Rastafari.
Honorable Prophet Benjamin. You know what we are doing here. And the item know that the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Hear what the lion voice say. Let me get a piece of thing.
Yes, go
Hold
ahead.
on,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Hear that one. I'll leave in something with them. Say, clear the way, clear the way. Ethiopians are coming, yeah. Earth need new governing, yeah. Clear the way, clear the way. Clear the way, clear the way, clear the way. Selassie children, them coming, yeah. Earth need new governing, yeah. Clear the way, clear the way. Say take your jacket and your ties. God from in the skies. Your pastors and your lies, them man move out. Your FBI, your CIA, FDA, your DEA, take your pagan holidays, them man move out. They take your leaders and your laws, and don't forget your Santa Claus. Go make we open all the doors to make them move out. They take your medicine and your potion, biblical interpretation, take your ideas and your vision, marriage and tradition, take your teachers and your teaching, preachers and your preaching, take the finding from your seeking, result of your meeting, take your fences and your borders, secret and your orders, your report and your reporters, courthouse and your lawyers, take your White House and employers, sons and all your daughters, UFO and flying saucers, and move out. They take your banks and policies, cures and remedies, drugs and pharmacies, scribes and Pharisees, your style and all your fashion, your Kim and your Kardashian, your TV and your screen, your England and your Queen. Take your Forest, take your Gump, take your Donald, take your Trump, leave with cushion, leave with skunk, and just move out and just clear the way, clear the way. Selassie children, them coming, yeah. Lion voice say that. Most I Selassie I Jah. Rastafari. Love
Mighty,
him, my people.
mighty, mighty, mighty. I'm going to need a drop from the eye. So yes, I, mighty. So family, next Thursday, look out for the
Michael
video
Shemai
from Kippy
representing, and I
Kel.
say, "Hail
Time has come for the lion to tell our own story. This is the Lion Voice.
Lion Voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The time has come for lions to tell our own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Ras Tafari, hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Ras Tafari vibes. Can you feel it? Ras Tafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Hail Rastafari, His Majesty and Empressment and blessed. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rasbata here.
Aye.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lion's Voice. Now put it, I jolly for say that.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. But people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.